Let's go. NFL, NRL. Which one's better? Sometimes the NFL feels like a meeting that occasionally breaks out into sport. If you still think the NFL is tougher, take away the huddle, cut the ads, keep them on the field, both ways, offense and defense, limit the substitutions, lose the shoulder pads, the thigh pads, and the helmets. If an NFL player were forced to play State of Origin, he'd make it exactly one set before he starts looking for the commercial break like it's a medical treatment. How you doing, Aussies? At this same time last year, I didn't even know what Rugby League was, so I just assumed rugby was rugby. Apparently it's not, and you guys let me know of that in spades. I didn't know what union was. I didn't know there were two different kinds of rugby. I hate American football. I tried to give it so many chances in my life, but I got to the point where I realized that if you have to really work hard to learn how to enjoy a sport, it's probably not for you. I remember having a conversation with this guy I knew. He's trying to explain to me why football, that's what they call it here, is so awesome and why I would love it if I just got into it and learned the game. He's like, it's like chess. And it's like, dude, I don't watch chess on TV either.
What? This is a check? Where's the king hiding?
So as a little shout out to my Australian friends, we're going to take an honest, savage, and merciless comparison between the NFL and the NRL. So let's start with the basics, shall we? A 3-hour commercial for a sport that happens in little 9-second bursts, surrounded by men in headsets playing corporate Dungeons and Dragons. It seems to me that if an NFL player had to play Rugby League, it wouldn't be long when he realizes that no one's blowing the whistle and stopping the game so that he can look and feel important. How much football is actually in football? An NFL broadcast is well over 3 hours long. You get roughly 11 minutes of live ball and play action for the whole game. I looked it up.
They stiffed us.
Nah, they stiff you, because I want my money, man.
Research on NRL match activity cycles has ball in play around 55 minutes. This is why league fans pay for sport, and NFL fans pay for a dramatic miniseries. For myself, at least, the NFL is the only game where endurance means enduring the broadcast.
There's always been like a mother and father. This is a father bucket, this is a mother bucket, and since the last game, they had a baby bucket. So this is a baby bucket.
I'm sorry, what?
Let me be clear, I'm not saying that NFL players are not athletes. They are. Some of them look like they were grown in a lab.
He's taken anabolic steroids, Novocaine, NyQuil, Darvon, and some sort of fish paralyzer.
But the NFL structure is optimized to reduce continuous workload, which to me is the opposite of exciting sport. You have offense, defense, special teams, and some players that only see the field in very specific situations. In Rugby League, you don't get to hide behind a unit. You defend, set after set after set. You carry the ball. You scramble. You get up, and you do it again. The game doesn't stop for a sit-down or an offensive change. I'm sure they exist, but I don't recall even seeing a timeout in the games I've watched thus far. In the NFL, I've lost track as to how many each team actually gets, and what the hell is happening to the clock when they do.
Sometimes it stops, sometimes it keeps going. It's chaos. So let's try to make it slightly less confusing.
And before any NFL fan wants to explain those nuances of the rules to me in the chat, don't bother. I'm not interested. In the NFL, you can be a specialist.
That's underneath, I think. I mean, if you look at that thing, yeah, I never figured, I couldn't, see, they're down in here, in this group here, I think.
In Rugby League, the specialty is surviving the next 10 minutes. This is perhaps one of the most glaring differences between American football and Rugby League. NRL rules for 2026 say that teams can name 6 bench players, but only use 4, with up to 8 interchanges total. That means fatigue itself is a feature of the game, and cardio endurance a necessity. This sport is actually designed so you eventually have to tackle while you're tired, run while tired, think while tired, and still execute the skills. People think toughness is just getting hit. Yeah, nah. Toughness is making the correct decision after you've been hit 20 times and your lungs are filling up with a formal complaint. Here's the bullet points. Rugby League asks for repeated tackles, repeated carries, catching, passing under pressure, kicking, execution under fatigue, reading numbers instantly, edge, ruck, speed, marker, position, communication, while exhausted, without breaks. The NFL is more like a chess match that has timeouts.
You are beaten. It is useless to resist.
The NFL is the biggest business and the loudest show, because as a test of continuous athleticism, endurance, resilience, skill under fatigue, Rugby League is just miles above in every category. Keep them on the field, both ways, offense and defense. Limit the substitutions, and you're still not quite there yet. Lose the shoulder pads, the shin pads, the thigh pads, and the helmets, and you're starting to find your way into the same universe. It doesn't care about your highlight reel or whatever your touchdown dance is. 80 minutes of shut up, get up, do it again. An NFL player would take his first hit and then immediately look around confused because the game keeps going.
Telling me's dreaming.
No huddle, no committee meeting, no let's all gather around and interpret what just happened for 5 more minutes. Just another crazy Aussie or Kiwi running head first at you like you owe him money. By minute 12, he wouldn't even be thinking about strategy. He'd be thinking about negotiating. The NFL has elite athletes performing controlled explosions inside a start and stop again machine. Rugby League has elite athletes forced to stay functional while the machine tries to tear them apart. So I hope you like that one, Aussies. Especially my friend Dave in Brisbane. Michael on the cattle station. I'm definitely a Broncos fan, but I'll always have a soft spot for the Eels. If you like the video, please comment, like, subscribe. And if you'd like to see the uncut version of this reaction, jump over to my Patreon. You can also support the channel by buying me a coffee. The whole point of this channel is basically one big crowdfunding attempt at getting to Australia and recording these videos in person and meeting all of you fine folks. So as always, may you always find water and shade. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Much love from Canada.